If you've been dealing with burning stomach pain, constant nausea, or that awful feeling like there's acid eating away at your insides, and nothing your doctor gave you actually fixed it, what I'm about to tell you is going to make you angry. Because the real reason your gastritis won't heal has nothing to do with too much stomach acid. In fact, treating it like an acid problem is exactly why you're still suffering. And in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to show you what Harvard researchers discovered about gastritis that changes everything. I'm Dr. Mizuki Kuroda, and over the past 28 years, we've helped thousands of people heal their gut naturally using protocols backed by the world's leading research institutions. We've worked with people who've been on proton pump inhibitors for years, people who've tried every diet under the sun, people who were told they'd need medication for life, and the vast majority of them are now completely symptom-free. No drugs, no surgery, just understanding how the body actually works and giving it what it needs to heal. Before we go any further, I need you to understand something crucial. Your stomach is not your enemy. I know it feels like it's attacking you. I know every meal feels like a gamble. I know you're probably scared to eat half the foods you used to love, but your stomach lining is trying to protect you. The inflammation, the pain, the burning, these are all defense mechanisms. Your body is screaming that something is wrong, and we need to listen to what it's actually saying instead of just silencing the alarm with medication. Here's what conventional medicine gets wrong about gastritis. They look at your symptoms, burning pain, acid reflux, nausea, and they immediately think, too much acid. So they prescribe proton pump inhibitors like omeprazole or antacids like Tums. And sure, you might feel better for a few hours or even a few days, but then the symptoms come back, often worse than before. So they increase your dose. They add more medications. They tell you to avoid spicy foods and coffee. And you're stuck in this endless cycle of temporary relief followed by flare-ups. But here's what researchers at Harvard Medical School discovered, and this is going to blow your mind. In most cases of chronic gastritis, the problem isn't too much acid. It's actually too little acid combined with a breakdown in your stomach's protective barrier. Let me explain what that means because this is the key to everything. Your stomach produces hydrochloric acid, which is incredibly strong. We're talking pH levels between 1 and 2, strong enough to dissolve metal. But your stomach doesn't digest itself because it has multiple layers of protection. The most important is your mucosal lining, a thick layer of mucus that acts like a shield between the acid and your stomach tissue. When that shield breaks down, even normal levels of acid can cause inflammation and pain. So what breaks down that protective barrier? This is where it gets interesting. Dr. Barry Marshall and Dr. Robin Warren won a Nobel Prize for discovering that a bacteria called Helicobacter pylori is responsible for the majority of gastritis and ulcer cases. This bacteria burrows into your stomach lining and weakens that protective mucus layer. But here's what most doctors don't tell you. H. pylori isn't the only culprit. There are multiple factors that destroy your stomach's defense system, and addressing just one of them isn't enough. Chronic stress is the biggest factor that nobody talks about. When you're stressed, your body diverts resources away from digestion. It reduces blood flow to your stomach, which means less oxygen and nutrients reaching those cells that produce protective mucus. Your body also produces less prostaglandins, which are the chemicals that tell your stomach to make that protective barrier. Harvard research shows that chronic stress can reduce stomach mucosal blood flow by up to 40%. 40%. That's like trying to heal a wound while someone's choking off the blood supply. Then there's NSAIDs, non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs like ibuprofen, aspirin, naproxen. These are some of the most commonly used medications in the world. People pop them like candy for headaches, back pain, arthritis. But here's what they don't tell you on the bottle. NSAIDs directly inhibit those prostaglandins I just mentioned. They literally prevent your stomach from producing its protective layer. Studies from Johns Hopkins show that regular NSAID use increases your risk of gastritis and ulcers by 600%. 600. And most people have no idea they're destroying their stomach lining every time they take one. Alcohol is another major destroyer. Even moderate drinking damages the stomach mucosa. It increases acid production while simultaneously thinning the protective barrier. It's like removing your shield while your enemy gets a bigger sword. Research published in the American Journal of Gastroenterology found that people who drink regularly have 3 times the rate of gastritis compared to non-drinkers. And we're not talking about alcoholics here. We're talking about people having a couple glasses of wine with dinner. Now here's where the acid suppression approach backfires. When you take proton pump inhibitors, you're drastically reducing stomach acid production. And yeah, that might ease the burning sensation. But stomach acid isn't just there to cause you pain. It has critical functions. It kills bacteria and pathogens in your food. It breaks down proteins. It helps you absorb essential nutrients like vitamin B12, iron, calcium, and magnesium. When you suppress acid long-term, you create a whole cascade of problems. Low stomach acid allows harmful bacteria to overgrow. It leads to nutritional deficiencies. It causes something called small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, or SIBO, where bacteria that should be in your colon migrate up into your small intestine. This creates bloating, gas, malabsorption, and ironically, it can make your gastritis worse. Studies show that people on long-term PPIs have higher rates of intestinal infections, bone fractures from calcium deficiency, and even increased risk of dementia from B12 deficiency. So if suppressing acid isn't the answer, what is? This is where we get into the actual healing protocol. And I'm going to give you the same information I give to patients who pay thousands of dollars for consultations. Because this information should be free. This is your body. You deserve to know how it works. The first step is rebuilding that protective mucosal barrier. And the most powerful natural compound for this is called zinc carnosine. This is a combination of zinc and L-carnosine that has been extensively studied in Japan. Research shows it adheres directly to the stomach lining and promotes healing of damaged tissue. Studies published in the journal Gut found that zinc carnosine significantly improved gastritis symptoms and healed ulcers just as effectively as prescription medications, but without any of the side effects. You can find zinc carnosine supplements at any health food store. The typical dose is 75 to 150 milligrams twice daily, taken between meals. You want to take it on an empty stomach so it can coat your stomach lining directly without getting mixed up with food. The second critical nutrient is glutamine. This is an amino acid that serves as fuel for the cells lining your digestive tract. When your gut is damaged, it burns through glutamine like crazy. Supplementing with L-glutamine gives those cells the raw material they need to repair and regenerate. Harvard research shows that glutamine supplementation reduces inflammation and strengthens the intestinal barrier. The dose is typically 5 grams 2 to 3 times daily, mixed with water. Next, we need to address inflammation directly, and the most powerful anti-inflammatory compound for the gut is curcumin, the active ingredient in turmeric. But here's the catch. Regular turmeric powder is poorly absorbed. You need a high-quality curcumin extract with black pepper or piperine, which increases absorption by 2,000%. Studies from the University of California found that curcumin reduced gastric inflammation markers by over 50% in patients with chronic gastritis. Look for a supplement with at least 500 milligrams of curcumin with bioperine, taken twice daily with meals. Now let's talk about stomach acid, because this is counterintuitive. Many people with gastritis actually need more acid, not less. I know that sounds crazy when you're feeling burning pain, but hear me out. When you have low stomach acid, food sits in your stomach longer. It ferments and creates pressure. That pressure forces whatever acid you do have up into your esophagus, causing reflux and irritation. There's a simple test you can do at home. Take a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar diluted in water before a meal. If your symptoms get worse, you might actually have adequate acid and the problem is just the barrier. But if your symptoms improve or you feel better digestion, that's a sign you're low on acid. Many people over 40 have reduced stomach acid production naturally. It's called hypochlorhydria. If you determine you're low on acid, you can support healthy acid production with digestive bitters. These are herbal preparations that stimulate your stomach to produce its own acid naturally. Gentian root, dandelion, artichoke leaf, these herbs have been used for centuries. Take 15 to 20 drops of a bitters formula in water 15 minutes before meals. This primes your digestive system. Another option is betaine HCl with pepsin. This is supplemental stomach acid that you take with protein-containing meals, but this needs to be done carefully. Start with 1 capsule with a meal. If you feel warmth or burning, that's too much. If you feel better digestion and no discomfort, you can gradually increase. Some people need 1 capsule, others need 3 or 4. Listen to your body. Now, diet is absolutely critical, but not in the way most people think. The standard advice is to avoid spicy foods, acidic foods, coffee, alcohol. And sure, during acute flare-ups, that makes sense. But long-term healing requires actually nourishing your gut, not just avoiding triggers. The most important thing you can do is consume bone broth. Real, homemade bone broth from beef or chicken bones, simmered for 12 to 24 hours. This creates a liquid gold full of collagen, gelatin, glycine, and proline. These amino acids are the building blocks your stomach lining needs to repair itself. Studies show that gelatin can help restore the mucosal barrier and reduce inflammation. Drink at least 1 cup of warm bone broth daily, preferably on an empty stomach in the morning. Fermented foods are your next best friend. Sauerkraut, kimchi, kefir, yogurt with live cultures. These provide beneficial bacteria that crowd out harmful organisms like H. pylori. Research from Stanford University found that a diverse microbiome is protective against gastritis. The good bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that reduce inflammation and strengthen the gut barrier. Aim for a tablespoon or two of fermented vegetables with meals. You also need to eliminate foods that damage the gut lining. Processed sugars feed harmful bacteria and yeast. Vegetable oils like canola, soybean, and corn oil are highly inflammatory. Gluten can increase intestinal permeability even in people without celiac disease. For at least 30 days, cut out sugar, processed foods, seed oils, gluten, and alcohol. I know that sounds restrictive, but think of it as a healing phase. You're giving your stomach a chance to repair without constantly being assaulted. Instead, focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. Wild-caught fish for omega-3 fatty acids that reduce inflammation. Leafy greens for vitamins and minerals. Root vegetables like sweet potatoes that are easy to digest. Healthy fats from avocados, olive oil, and coconut oil. High-quality proteins from grass-fed meat, pastured eggs, wild fish. These foods provide the raw materials your body needs to heal. Stress management is non-negotiable. Remember how I said stress reduces blood flow to your stomach and inhibits protective mucus production? That's not just theory. That's measurable physiology. When you're stressed, your sympathetic nervous system is activated. That's fight or flight mode. Your body literally shuts down digestion because it thinks you're running from a tiger. You can take all the supplements in the world, but if you're chronically stressed, your stomach won't heal. So what do you do about it? The most effective technique is vagus nerve stimulation. The vagus nerve connects your brain to your gut. When it's activated, it shifts you into parasympathetic mode. Rest and digest. Deep breathing is the fastest way to activate it. Sit comfortably. Breathe in slowly through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 4. Exhale through your mouth for 6 counts. Do this for 5 minutes before every meal. You're literally telling your body it's safe to digest. Another powerful practice is meditation. You don't need to sit cross-legged for an hour. Even 5 minutes of focused breathing or guided meditation can lower cortisol levels and improve gut function. There are dozens of free apps. Pick one and commit to 5 minutes daily. Research from Harvard shows that regular meditation practice reduces inflammatory markers in the blood and improves symptoms in patients with inflammatory bowel conditions. Sleep is when your body does most of its healing. Your stomach lining regenerates during deep sleep. If you're only getting 5 or 6 hours, or if your sleep quality is poor, you're sabotaging your healing. Aim for 7 to 9 hours. Keep your bedroom dark and cool. Avoid screens for an hour before bed because blue light suppresses melatonin. If you have trouble sleeping, try magnesium glycinate, 300 to 400 milligrams an hour before bed. Magnesium calms the nervous system and improves sleep quality. Let's talk about H. pylori specifically, because this affects over half the world's population. If you've been tested and you have H. pylori, conventional treatment is a triple therapy of antibiotics and acid suppressors. It works for many people, but it also wipes out your beneficial gut bacteria, often causing more problems down the line. There are natural approaches that can be effective, though they take longer. Mastic gum is a resin from a Mediterranean tree that has potent antibacterial properties. Studies show it can inhibit and even eradicate H. pylori. The dose is typically 1 gram taken twice daily on an empty stomach for at least 30 days. Broccoli sprouts contain sulforaphane, a compound that has been shown to kill H. pylori and reduce inflammation. Eating raw broccoli sprouts or taking a sulforaphane supplement can be part of a comprehensive protocol. Manuka honey from New Zealand has unique antibacterial properties due to its high methylglyoxal content. Studies show it can inhibit H. pylori growth. Take 1 tablespoon of genuine Manuka honey, UMF rating 15 or higher, on an empty stomach twice daily. Let it coat your stomach before swallowing. I want to address something important. If you have severe symptoms, if you're vomiting blood, if you have black tarry stools, if you have unintentional weight loss, you need to see a doctor immediately. Those are signs of serious complications that require medical intervention. What I'm sharing here is for chronic, non-emergency gastritis. Natural healing is powerful, but it's not a replacement for emergency care. Now I need to hear from you. Drop a comment right now and tell me, what's your main gastritis symptom? Is it burning pain, nausea, bloating, loss of appetite, reflux, and how long have you been dealing with it? We read every comment, and your input helps us create content that addresses what you're actually struggling with. The more specific you are, the better we can help. So take 10 seconds right now and leave a comment before you forget. Here's what I want you to do over the next 30 days. Think of this as your gastritis healing protocol. First, Get zinc carnosine and start taking it twice daily between meals. Second, make or buy high-quality bone broth and drink 1 cup every morning on an empty stomach. Third, cut out sugar, processed foods, alcohol, and NSAIDs completely. Fourth, practice 5 minutes of deep breathing before every meal. And fifth, get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night. That's it. 5 things. Don't try to do everything at once. These 5 actions will create the foundation for healing. After 2 weeks, you can add in the other supplements I mentioned: glutamine, curcumin, digestive bitters. After 30 days, you can slowly reintroduce foods and see what you tolerate. Keep a journal. Rate your symptoms on a scale of 1 to 10 every morning and every evening. Track what you eat, how you sleep, your stress levels. This data is gold. It shows you patterns. It shows you what works and what doesn't. And when you see objective improvement, when you see your pain score dropping from an 8 to a 4 to a 1, you'll have proof that your body is healing. That motivation will keep you going. If you want even more in-depth information, if you want the advanced protocols for things like SIBO, leaky gut, food sensitivities, and how to reintroduce foods properly after healing, make sure you subscribe because we're releasing those videos over the next few weeks. This channel is becoming the go-to resource for people who want to heal naturally without being dependent on medications for life. And if this video gave you hope, if you learned something valuable, smash that like button. It tells YouTube to show this to more people who are suffering. There are millions of people right now dealing with gastritis who think they're stuck with it forever. They don't know this information exists. By liking and sharing, you're helping spread knowledge that could genuinely change someone's life. Here's the truth that the medical system doesn't want you to know. Your body wants to heal. Healing is its default state. Every cell is constantly trying to repair and regenerate, but it needs the right environment. It needs the right nutrients. It needs rest. It needs you to stop doing the things that are damaging it. When you provide those conditions, healing happens naturally. You are not broken. You are not defective. You just got stuck in a cycle where the conventional approach was treating symptoms instead of causes. Now you know better. You know about the mucosal barrier. You know about the role of stress and inflammation. You know about the nutrients that support healing. You're armed with information that puts you ahead of most general practitioners when it comes to understanding gastritis. So here's your homework. Right after this video, go make or order some bone broth. Set a reminder on your phone for deep breathing before meals. Order zinc carnosine online or pick it up from a health store tomorrow. Take the first step today, not Monday, not next month, today. Because every day you wait is another day your stomach lining is inflamed and damaged. Your stomach is not your enemy. It's been trying to tell you something is wrong. Now you know how to listen and how to respond. The burning pain, the nausea, the discomfort, all of that can improve. I've seen it happen thousands of times. People who were told they'd need medication for life are now eating normally, sleeping peacefully, living without constant fear of the next flare-up. You can be one of those success stories. You have the information, you have the protocol. Now you just need to take action. 30 days. Give your body 30 days of proper support and watch what happens. Then come back to this video and leave a comment telling me about your progress. I want to hear your healing story. Remember, gastritis is not a life sentence. It's a message. And now you know how to read that message and respond appropriately. Your body is on your side. Work with it, not against it. Give it what it needs, remove what's harming it, and trust the process. Now go start your healing journey. Your stomach will thank you. See you in the next one.